So let's move on to our second topic in this podcast, going on to the 5 most anticipated players moving to a new team this season. It's going to be an amazing segment because we had some massive moves in the MLB this year. Some unexpected moves, some expected, some overhyped moves. We'll talk about that later when we get to a specific guy who posts YouTube videos every single day about where he was going to go. I think you know who I'm getting at already. But top 5 guys, there were some amazing signees or moves that are going to be taken that aren't going to be on this list. There are also going to be guys who stayed home that aren't on this list because they didn't move. You look at Marcell Ozuna, you look at Justin Turner, you look at JT Realmuto, you look at guys like that, they're not going to be on this list because they didn't move teams. It's as simple as that. So let's start off the list. Coming in at number 5, I actually have 2 players. For how I'm ranking this, I'm not necessarily saying that this will be the best player for that team or this will be the most impactful. I'm saying that these players will have the most hype around them going into this season in terms of the move that they made to this specific team. So coming in at number 5, I'm going with the pitching duo going to San Diego, and that will be Yu Darvish and Blake Snell. The Padres just dumped a load of money on Fernando Tatis Jr. Francisco we'll get to later. Fernando Tatis Jr. They got Machado. That is a good young team in San Diego. And yes, you have the Dodgers in that division who are absolutely stacked and have only got more stacked over the offseason. But the Padres are right there with them. The Padres and the Dodgers, I'm pretty sure the MLB network put out like percentages on each team's chance to make the playoffs. And I think that both the Padres and the Dodgers were 95 plus. Like those are 2 World Series contention teams that are going to be going up against each other a ton this season. I think they got 6 series against each other, considering that we're going to have a full season of baseball played, hopefully, going into this season. Spring training has just started. Baseball is back. I got my Jays jersey on. I'm excited. I've been watching a lot of college baseball recently. My South Carolina Gamecocks have started. We're 4-0. We beat Winthrop today. Sweet Dayton over the weekend, and we go into a weekend set with Clemson after that. So that is my number 5 kind of duo. The rest are going to be single players. So coming in at number 4, I have a guy who hyped himself up so much on YouTube and in social media. Again, I'm not saying that these guys are going to be the most impactful for this team, but just the hype around this guy going to this team, especially that he had to post every single second on what he was thinking. Like he could have been watching a YouTube video and saw just a shot of the Mets stadium and then you tweet out like, oh, maybe it's the Mets. Or you go to LA, you have a slice of pizza from a place called Los Angeles Pizza, and he'd be like, maybe I'm switching to the Dodgers now. It was chaos with Trevor Bauer, but he finally signed to the Dodgers this season. What did he have, a 1.73 ERA last season? Yes, it's been higher the years before. He hasn't been the most consistent over the years, but last season he had a really dominant season for the Cincinnati Reds. Trevor Bauer is just a fun guy to watch, depending on the type of baseball player you like to watch play baseball, because this is a guy that's going to get fired up. He's a social media hog, and I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing. I think that we need more of that in baseball. For a league that, let's be honest, is declining in viewership and everything, we need to add excitement back into this league, and I think Trevor Bauer is a guy that a lot of young kids love. I'm not saying I love him, but there's a lot of young kids that really love Trevor Bauer just because of the energy he brings to the game, and he's joining a pitching staff with Walker Buehler and Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers won the World Series last year. They still have a stacked team, and obviously just adding on to that with Trevor Bauer, a big signing. I think he's getting $40 million every single year to play on the Dodgers. So he's going to have a ton of hype around him going to LA. Coming in at number 3, which was kind of an unexpected trade, at least for me, especially to this team, but we have the Colorado Rockies trading Nolan Aronado to the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, Aronado out of this list could be, or Aronado, however you want to pronounce it, could be the best player out of the guys I'm going to talk about. It's debatable because we still have 2 guys to go, and they were really good players, but Aronado can be the best player in baseball when he wants to be, excluding Mike Trout, in my opinion. He's got unbelievable power. He's an amazing third baseman, and he goes to St. Louis. St. Louis isn't a team that's necessarily going to be chasing a ring this year. I think that they play in definitely one of the weaker divisions in all of the MLB, so there's definitely room for the Cardinals to step into the playoffs. Do I see them going to the World Series and winning a World Series right now? No. If they make the playoffs, anyone can win the World Series. We all know that. But I don't necessarily see the Cardinals ring chasing, and that's why I have him back at 3 for most anticipated player moves. He's one of the best players, if not the best player to move this offseason. But I just think that going to the Cardinals is really dropping this back for me into the list when we have a couple other teams that I think are going after it more than I'd say the St. Louis Cardinals are this year. So coming in at number 2, got to bring up, got the nice, you guys can't see. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see, but if you're watching on YouTube, I got that nice away road jersey, Toronto Blue Jays. Behind me, I got the nice powder blue Bo Bichette jersey. Toronto Blue Jays, who'd we pick up this season? Mr. George Springer, of course, from the Houston Astros. We thought we picked up Michael Brantley because that became a rumor. Ultimately, he signed back with the Houston Astros. But George Springer, man, the Jays are going after it this season. There is a lot of hype around the Jays this season, especially being from Toronto, and that's not just me being a biased Jays fan. A lot of people are taking notice of the Blue Jays league-wide. I think Bo Bichette just tweeted out that he's going to be, and the rest of the team is going to be disappointed if they don't come home with a ring this season. You got a young core in Toronto. That outfield is going to be very, very entertaining to watch this season. He's adding on to Teoscar Hernandez and Lourdes Gurriel Jr., two guys who have had really, really good prior seasons. They're two young guys. Then you got obviously the big infield with now you add Marcus Semien, another big move this offseason. He comes to Toronto. You got Bo Bichette still. You got Vladdy. You got Cavan. This is a team that is, I don't want to say ready to win. I think that pitching could still add on, even though we added some pretty good guys. We added, I think, Steven Matz this season, Kirby Yates, guys like that. The Jays, I think, are more of a ready-to-win team than the St. Louis Cardinals right now. So that's why I have George Springer ahead of Aronado. I think Arenado's a better player than George Springer is. But I have the hype and the anticipation around George Springer coming to Toronto as at a higher level than Arenado going to the St. Louis Cardinals. That brings me to my number 1 spot, and a team that has really come out last season in terms of this is a team that it looks like they're ready to win now with an elite pitching staff. They have probably the best pitcher in all of baseball. I'd want to say arguably, but it's not really, Jacob deGrom, and you obviously know what team I'm talking about. I'm talking about the New York Mets. Francisco Lindor, I just want to say none of these guys really hit that well last season in the 2020 season, but throughout, these guys have been hitting amazing their whole career. I think Lindor's at like a 285 average all time throughout his career. He's a guy that will put up near 180 hits every single season. He'll hit 30 home runs. He's a good player. He'll put up 70 plus RBIs a season. He's going to be a huge impact player for the New York Mets, who are ring chasing this season. They are going after that division. A lot of people, even though I don't think it, I think that the Braves have still got that division locked up. A lot of people see the Mets winning this division this year because you got guys like Jeff McNeil, you got Pete Alonso, you got a really, really good squad out there for the New York Mets looking to go take home a ring this season. After coming back from 2015 without a ring, can the Mets make it back to the playoffs and then go on and make a World Series? And you're taking one of the, if not the best shortstops in the league, trade for him from the Cleveland baseball team, as they're called now. Francisco Lindor, I think, in my opinion, is going to have the most hype around him in the MLB this season, just because you're going to a team that has so much expectation this year, and you have so much hype around you as being this elite shortstop, and who has the potential to be one of the best in the league this season, maybe go out and win an NL MVP. Francisco Lindor has a ton of hype around him, and that's why I have him at my number 1 spot. So, recapping, at number 5, we have the pitching duo in Blake Snell and Yu Darvish, both going to the San Diego Padres. Then we had Trevor Bauer going to the Dodgers. Then we had Nolan Arenado going to the St. Louis Cardinals. Number 2, we had George Springer going to my Toronto Blue Jays. And then number 1, we had Francisco Lindor signing or getting traded to the New York Mets. So that's my podcast for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I had a blast filming this one. I'm going to keep trying to put out more podcasts and everything. Leave a rating on whatever you're listening on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, whatever it is. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. And definitely go check out YouTube and shoot us an email or something. Shoot us a comment on YouTube on anything else you'd love to see us talk about on the podcast, because I'd love to take suggestions. I'm looking for stuff to talk about now, especially during football off season. It's hard for me. Baseball is still off. We're just getting into the swing of things. Hockey and basketball are in swing, but it's harder to talk about those for me. I'm a big football and baseball guy, so I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for listening, and definitely come back next time and have an amazing rest of your day.